What's up, stream? How's everyone doing? All right, so I came here to hang out with you today, but I'm going to tell you now, like I predicted yesterday, today is likely, or at least this morning, to be very, very sloppy price action. We are pinned in a range. We don't have multi-time frame alignment. All right, so nice and easy today with your sizing. All right, as always, we're going to start on the daily. Yesterday, clear rejection above daily Bollingers. Here's your weekly range. All right, that's your weekly range. We're trading inside weekly range. We're trading inside previous day. We're trading inside the previous day, and we're protecting this old level here into 400, holding 5-day. If there is a snap of the 5-day, if there is a snap of old previous value areas, there is a mean reversion trade down to here. If there is a snap of that, there's a mean reversion, or a full reversion trade, I should say, down to the lower bowl. But right now, it's not happening. All right, we're protecting and we're in this chop zone, and we can see it more as we go into the hourly charts. All right, you can see here are my levels. Everything's there for you. Hopefully you can see that nice and easy. List down a bit. All right, so we made a low yesterday. Eventually we swept previous day low. It took all day. I said we'd come back for it if we didn't take it early in the morning, and we did eventually come back for it just. But as you can see, this level here, this is an old resistance level. Resistance, resistance, resistance. Breakout, support, support, support. Okay, and we're trapped between this. This is a daily level, a daily and weekly level. So it's a very strong level, which is holding right now. We're trapped between that and an intraday level, this little bit of supply we put in yesterday. And obviously, we've not tested the supply at the highs. This is fresh. At no point yesterday after that push up in New York have we come back to test it. So the question is, how long do we chop in here for? All right, because as we know, we've got FOMC later. Can we do a failed breakout and turn back inside? Do we then do another failed breakout and turn back inside? All very, very possible. Do we come and test this true fresh supply where buyers from New York open and overnight previous day are trapped and fail? Do we come up here, build liquidity for FOMC and go for a new leg higher? All of these things are possible. Do we do a giant bear flag here, push, fail, 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 come and retest this level and come and clean out some of these daily and weekly levels? Again, all of these things possible. Why? Because we're not in alignment, right? Daily and weeklies are technically bullish all the time. We're holding this zone here. Hourly is saying to me it wants to try and trade lower, but it has not traded under here to prove multi-time frame alignment. All right, hourly is not in multi-time frame alignment. We have big news coming. FOMC likely to be a bit of a nothing burger, if I'm honest, but the algos will pick it up. Right, that's at 2 o'clock today. 98% chance right now that we just continue a pause and that there's no rate cut. All right, so likely chop, 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 chop. Use some of it in FOMC. No rate cut, maybe like that, or probably more likely no rate cut. And then we get into the talk. Hey, we're going to do a rate cut in September. Yeah, I felt the pressure from Trump. I'm not going to quit. Do you know what I mean? Like, why do you want to trade that, man? Like, it's easier days. So hopefully that doesn't happen. We get a nice trend, but that is what I'm expecting. And then at the bell, you've got Microsoft and Meta earnings, okay, at the bell as well. So double whammy with earnings. Let's just get through the charts. All right, so you can see overnight all we've done. Yesterday, finally sweeping that low that we left. We talked about that on stream. Finally came back for it. Nice bear flag. Finally came back from that low. Held the weekly and daily level. Grind all the way back to supply. Left this wick. Failed. Came back. We have a news wick here. So we have a news candle wick at sort of 505s. Holding previous day point of control. This is basically value. This is where the most volume was traded yesterday, which means it's not a great area. Technically speaking, if we're over that, you can look for rotations up. If we're under that, technically speaking, you can look for rotations down, but that means your RR is skewed. So I'm going to look, if I'm going to look for anything, it's going to be edges and it's going to be failed breakouts, or breakout retests, which are very unlikely in this market. So more likely a failed breakout unless something changes. Okay, let's look at the MAG. MAG are all trading inside. Apple is weak, but let's go through it together. Apple, weak, like I just said. Right, gapping down right now under previous day lows. So these are big levels under pre-market lows as well. That thing's in a sell. Like I said, it's been stuck in this range. It has earnings tomorrow. Oh, like, who knows? Stuck between this and this right now, a bit like the market. It needs to do this to get going. Otherwise, we are open for failure, especially if the earnings are not what the market wants in terms of, they just want to hear something about AI, and it better not be we're developing our own, because no one will give a flying F. All right, so let's just see. Microsoft, slight gap up, but trading inside previous day's range, right? Previous day high, previous day low, previous day close, inside range. It's going to be the same story across the board. Gapping up slightly on Amazon, previous day low, previous day high, near the lows though. So we are containing, but near the lows. Google holding highs, that's relative strength in Google. If it can base over 195s, it has a slingshot chance to 200. Meta coming into earnings tonight, slight gap up, but again inside range. Previous day high all the way up here, previous day low, and close at the lows. Nvidia, slight gap up here. I'd say a break on Nvidia of 176. It will test 177.60s, 177.50s for a look to see if it can get back at the high or a failure. But again, inside range. And Tesla inside range, same thing. Bang in the middle of range, bang at close. All right, no edge in this market. We'll have a look at ES. ES was weaker yesterday. You can see this is a much nicer wave. All right, so the question is there continuation in ES right now? But again, at this huge level. All right, the easier move will come if we break down, retest, stay heavy. We can look for a rotation into this next pool of liquidity. If they fail to break out, something like this is possible. It can become a giant flag. All right, so this is why we're saying multi-time frame alignment. Not really prevalent right now. VIX found a bid yesterday. We talked about that. All right, there is the breakdown, there is the recovery, there is the pin in, and there is the breakout. And now all it has to do is try and hold over 1550 for a chance to get back up to here, 1630s. All right. If VIX can hold this, you'd look for a rotation up. Any failure here, we go back in this zone. All right, so you know what I'm expecting? I'm expecting chop and slop today and not much else. I'm expecting better action tomorrow. I even don't think FOMC will be that fantastic, just so we're all aware. All right, let's move this up a time frame. There we go. We have 6 minutes to open. Let's see who's in here this morning. Morning, Jesse, Toby, Miguel, Leron, Trentry, John, Brandon, Glenn, Ramus, Mike, Thumper, John, Lucan, Ken, Mo, BB12, Raphael, Calypso, Bart, Christy, Chris, Sergio, Wisdom Lover. Good morning, everyone. Apex sale has now finished. 90% has gone. So if you missed that, you missed a good chance. But Tradeify, straight to funded right now. Using code FZT, link is down below, will get you 50% off. All right. Which means for things like the 25K accounts, straight to funded now is as cheap as the Apex 90% off once you pay the activation fee. So worth a look. Worth a look. Very, very cheap right now. So you can trade up to 5 accounts there. Definitely worth a look if you're going straight to funded. Nice and cheap. Let's have a look at the books. One thing we've not done this morning. What are you talking, Mo? Yeah, you can. I copy Apex to Tradeify all the time. Don't know what you're talking about. All right, some liquidity above right now. 35s, 50, 62, the edge of that range, and then 600. Let's just zoom out in case there's any big boys pinned anywhere for FMC. Don't see anyone. Let's do one with the algos on and just double check. Most of the bigger size is up north right now on the algos. Checking ES as well. Pinned in 75 to 37s with the algos on, probably the same. 380 to 435, not much above or below. No. Okay, pinned in like we talked about. I don't think they have Project X yet. I know it's coming. I know they signed paperwork last week, so I know it's coming. I don't think they have it launched yet. But yeah, you can definitely copy Apex with Tradeify. Not sure where that thought's come from, though. All you need is a copier. All right, so really not expecting much here at the open, folks. I was genuinely not going to bother even turning up today, but I thought I'd turn up for you lot. But I lack interest in this market at the moment. Just given that we're in a range, and I know that we're building for some big news events this afternoon, tonight, and tomorrow night. And then Friday, obviously, we have NFP and the tariffs. Market opening here in 2 minutes. And we're just trading inside. So, I mean, if you want to know what looks bad, just look at London. It just expanded each side of Asia, and looks like New York might do the same. All right, so we've got sort of a lower time frame. One of these setting up like a big potential megaphone. So I can draw it something like this setting up. All right, this expands this, and this might expand this. So you want to be careful. It's how they build liquidity if they do it. And most of the indices right now hanging out. Well, it definitely is SPY. Let me check QQQ. Yeah, ES and SPY just hanging out at the 5-day moving average. QQQ's 5 days basically just under previous day low. Just under previous day low. Market opening here in 30 seconds, folks. Most people, I imagine, will be waiting for tonight, and I don't blame you. All right, here you go. Coming back down towards the Globex lows, previous week value area high. We know buyers controlled this level yesterday. Mag all opening up green. All right, closing the gap there on ES. Here's PDC already. Zoom this in a bit. Let's see what's going on. Mag all green, other than Microsoft. Just gone green to red. The rest of the mag look good. Liquidity here on the book down at 450s if it wants to come and test it. Oi. So Globex low here, orange box, previous week value area high. This is where we failed under yesterday. All right, failed auction under here yesterday. So it's possible buyers step in here on the edge of range and try and rotate all the way back up here. It's also possible we fail underneath and clean some of it out. Like I said, we're in range coming into major data. VIX just closed its gap as well, pushing up into that supply we talked about yesterday, 1595 at the moment. Breakout of 1612 would be the breakout of yesterday's high. Here's PDC, staying heavy here. Here's your liquidity at 450. We just talked about buyers on the tape there. You can see them above me on bookmap. Beneath that, you're looking at basically 430s and 420s. Yes, has just taken PDC as well. So here's PDC now hit across the indices. We found bids yesterday at 420. There was excess down there. Sellers tried really hard on that push under previous day low yesterday and they got absorbed. And buyers coming back in here at 450, stacked at 450, 440, 430, 420, and then you can see that drive away from it. All right, so it filled the gap. Like we said, we're holding previous week value area high. These are big high time frame demand levels down here. So as I kept talking about pre-market, this is the edge of the range down here. All right. This is where the auction failed yesterday. This is where buyers failed to get above yesterday. We're trapped between here. There is not a huge amount of room here, folks. That's why I'm uninterested right now. I don't think they do, Mo. I think Bullknox have that rule. In fact, but it just says it has to be the lead account on Bullknox, but you'd be fine. Wouldn't worry about it. Morning, BU. All right, trapped at that New York Open now. Let's put an anchor on for the day before I forget. I'm probably going to go and test the top side of the range now that we've tested the bottom side of the range. Market will go the other way and try and get up towards those 510s. All right, so failed auction under here, held, coming up to test top side of the range. Remember, we have a news wick that we just taken it almost right here. That was a news wick at 8:30 a.m. this morning. GDP. Now we've just taken it. All right, so we've filled the gap, taken the Newswick, probably going to test the top side of supply. Mags all over the shop right now. Google and Microsoft both gone red. And seeing some selling up here, some absorption up here, 121 lot just sold into the supply. So like I said, stuck in the range. This is why I'm fairly uninterested in this market at the moment. Not expecting much from it. Really just came here to hang out. Honestly, I could easily go back to sleep, especially with the stress last night. Let me see what the roads look like after this tsunami warning. Absolutely fine. Obviously, we've got Globex up here. Bit of excess over Globex right up here. That's Newswick now taken. If it gets stuck up here, we chop right back down again. I mean, it's probably the same across the board right now. Let me have a look at GC for you, JD. And then a bit of a sell since early this morning as it started to bottom out. So big gap up. You'd be looking for a pullback, really a gap fill. Somewhere into here, that's good confluence there. 44s, 344s, see if it gives you a gap fill, partial gap fill that holds, otherwise flush all the way down, and you'd be looking to bid off that for a new higher low for a return all the way back in. It's just come shy of supply there. Say 90, 95s. So I'd be looking for a bid back up here, breakout, and then 90, 95s. If I was you on gold. Okay, so holding VWAP and New York Open for now. ES stuck at its 5-day. ES is not taking its Newswick. I'm going to get refill on my water and be right back. And here's the chop back. Like I said, this is what we're expecting today. I might only stay here an hour or hour and a half because I'm actually not expecting to trade today. Camille, for me, no, I don't. And I think these days are going to get, less and less impactful. The reason today, I think, will be, other than the setup, we're not expecting a rate cut. So, and it's very high probability that we don't get a rate cut. The problem for me is the press conference after. The questions he will be asked will be so focused on tariffs and comments that Trump has made about him, and will he quit and resign, and all this unknown stuff. And you're trading against algos, news algos, trying to pick up on every word. I've got absolutely zero interest. Like I always say, I want low hanging fruit. I don't want things to make it hard for me. And if it was back post COVID and we're expecting a hike or expecting a cut, yeah, you can have volatility, which is still hard, but I'm not too keen. All right, ES stuck under its VWAP, rejecting 5-day moving average. SPY trying to hold its 5-day moving average. Both of them have filled their gaps. Well, I guess technically SPY missed it by 10 cents, but ES did fill its gap. QQQ filled its gap, NQ filled its gap. So I'm going to assume gap has been filled across the indexes, and we are just trapped. Building liquidity. Look, top right of the screen. Building liquidity. We're in a building of liquidity phase of the market. And once we finish building out, we will abuse all those participants later. Yeah, Camille, I think that's wise trading, my friend. No need to force your way in, right? Apple now gone red. Amazon now gone red. Tesla starting to go red here. Coming back up towards the top of this range now. Do they have follow through over 500 to come and clean out 5, 10, 20, 30s? They don't have follow through. We go straight back to VWAP and New York. Okay, just making sure that was on the right indices there. Get rid of these. Take care, Coop. Hope that all goes well. Okay, potential micro inverse head and shoulders if they hold this range here for a rotation back up and through. Otherwise, they fail this. We go all the way back down. Those of you who were on stream with me yesterday would have heard me say I probably won't turn up today, got no interest. This is exactly what I mean. This is exactly what we were setting up for. Unless we get a clear break of a liquidity zone and a reclaim, or a break and a reject on a retest, there's not much to do. It's just sitting on the hands right now. Back to the VWAP, back to New York. Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, and Tesla all selling off here a little bit, and it's only a little bit, but they have gone green to red. Remember, we opened up green, we're now red on the session. So there's your New York Open. These are your two VWAPs. There's your flow zones. There's lower time frame algo. If these all start to sell, we probably come and retest this area down here. If we sell through that, we're going to retest previous day low. Why does that not look right? There we go. But if they catch it, not much volume on the book as expected. Everyone just waiting. Oh. So back off that lows of VWAP, sorry, back towards 500s. There is still liquidity at 510s, 520s, 525s, 530s. You're still in a range here. 15-20 point range. All this time up here, very tight 15-20 point range. We know the edge of supply is up here. Some of the mag trying to find bids here. Only Amazon and Apple left red now. Watching Nvidia if it can hold price above pre-market highs and VWAP. It's trading right into its pivot that we talked about, 77.64 IB low of yesterday on Nvidia. Market trying to get going here into supply. You got sellers here, 200 lot. You can see them on the book above me into 520s. Right, so they're trying to sell the edge of range. Here goes the drive up, testing Globex now, and then above that 520s where that seller is. And that will be the edge of supply. If we get over that, pull back in and hold, then there might be a trade all the way up to 570s. So if we can clear 520, 525, break out, pull back and hold it, there might be a trade up to 570s. Otherwise, there could easily be a failed breakout up here because we are playing a range. Market now all green other than Apple. Nvidia breaking out like we just talked about. It's into its supply point from yesterday, but we are breaking out on Nvidia above pre-market highs. So almost tap 20s. There you go. Filled there. You can see 207 got filled on the book, and another 200 just got filled there. Lots of selling here. Lots and lots and lots of selling here. So edge of the range, we did clear out, so liquidity now taken. Did we take that old high from yesterday? No, maybe by a tick. Zoom in. By a tick, by a point, or 3 ticks. So yeah, cleared the liquidity out. They're trying to absorb here. You can see on the book 50 lot, or 53 lot, 52 lot, trying to absorb on the opening range high, which has now been set for the day. So buyers trying to absorb here, sellers coming in heavy in the 20s. Most the book is looking like it wants to go upside at the moment, just in terms of where liquidity is. Another 50 lot coming here trying to absorb it. So buyers desperate to hold in front of 500 here. It's 150 lot traded so far. Probably the same buyer, 53 lot, 52 lot, 51 lot. They are trying to absorb this tape to take it up. There's the sell through them. This is why I don't trade range. So those buyers just got slammed at 150 lot, taken out. Can they reclaim now? Otherwise, they're in trouble. We're still in liquidity building phase. All we've done is go edge to edge. Hopefully that makes sense. What size are my candles? They're not done on size. They're done on time. They're 1 minute. They're not done on size. I'm not playing tick candles here. I'd say if we reject 508 now, those buyers will be in trouble. 508, 509, 510, somewhere around there, those buyers will be in trouble. Very low probability day here, folks. Just as a reminder, told you yesterday this was coming. This is a low probability day. Building up liquidity at these lows now. 83s, basically 83s to 11. You've got a 30-point range here, excess over it. If we break this, either a trap underneath or a flush all the way back down to the lows. Nvidia still going higher and higher and higher. They look strong this morning. Alex, what's your opinion on account size, 100K versus 150K or 300K? Which one is your favorite and why? It all depends on the firm. 50K is the easiest to make money from, especially any firm with trailing drawdown. Here, you're going to test New York Open here in the edge we just talked about. If you're trading a firm like Apex with trailing drawdown, 50K is the easiest to get past. Once you pass the buffer, it doesn't really matter what firm you're trading. Your job is just to grow the accounts. If you're trading with like a straight to funded, and there's like a 20% consistency, I do prefer the bigger accounts, 150 or so. I've got some 250s to play with that I struggle with them, to be honest, because you need to make so much more money than you can risk that it forces you to sort of size up, and it gets much harder to manage that risk when you size up. Okay, cleaning out the liquidity here, like we just talked about, 80s, holding previous day point of control, remaining in this choppy range. Make sure you're zooming out. All we are in is a choppy range, right? Chop, chop, chop. Talked about this yesterday. Clear out of here, clear out of here. Maybe it comes down here, maybe it goes back up. We did all this pre-market. Its job is to trap traders right now to use this afternoon. That's its job. Yeah, say 150 and 50s. Not above 150, I don't particularly like. I've tried. In my head, I was like, I'm going to scale up, move all my 50Ks to 250Ks. But the RR, it becomes hard. It becomes really hard. I mean, 1,600 drawdown on 20 Apex PAs. Any advice to dig it out on 50Ks? Yeah, just size right down. Size right down. Start trading micros, 1 or 2 micros, not minis. And just go slow. 100 a day. And in 2 weeks, you'll be break even. Yeah, got to go to M and Q. Size right down. Base hits. Move your stops in the money. Just base hit it. Don't oversize to try and make it back. You will blow up if you do that. All right, market. Previous week high here. Previous day, point of control. Like we said, this is the chop vest zone. Maybe we come and test value area low again. Nvidia pulling back a little bit here, but still bullish on the day. ES weaker. Back down to its PDC. You can see on the book, we have buyers here at 70s, 60s, and 50s. Major selling up here at 25s and 50s again. So it's just gross, man. I have not even touched it. I'm not even interested. Not even vaguely interested here. Just zoom out and look at like a 30-minute or an hourly and ask yourself, do you want to be trading it? Oh, this light's off. What's going on here? I've got to put it on. Vic's trying to get going here. We're just at the midpoint of your opening range right now, folks. Back to the New York Open. So we basically traded, well, I don't know, 30 points under the New York Open, 30 points over the New York Open. That's all you've done. I don't think I ever go for large accounts other than 50K. Yeah, 50K is like, for me, just is comfort zone. When I move out of that comfort zone, it's harder for me to make money. Yeah, she's doing good. Thanks, Calypso. Pup's doing good. She's getting frustrated with being in a pen. I'll tell you that much. She's starting to get frustrated, which is a good sign in many ways because it means she's wanting to like walk more and move more. But we've just got to slow her down at the moment. This 30-minute candle, man. It's 30-minute and hourly candle. Awful. Absolutely awful. Not yet, but yeah, she will be doing rehab, swimming rehab. But yeah, not yet. After 6 weeks, we can start doing that stuff. We're only at week 3 at the moment. Or it'll be week 4 on Tuesday. Next week, we'll be week 4. I'm wondering if they want to come for 450 at the moment because it's such a big lot down there. Well, it's not big, but they've just like refreshed it a couple times. It's only 27, but they have refreshed it. Nvidia still holding gains. Oh man. Oh, so tired. Sorry, folks. Maybe now you can see why yesterday I was telling you I have no interest in trading FOMC morning. All right, here's 70s. I'm wondering if we're coming for the 50s just based on the book right now. Not based on anything else, just based on the book. Maybe back to 90s and then they see if they sell the New York Open or not. Yes, finding a bid of PDC here. Back to New York Open. Yes, back to VWAP. SPY back to VWAP. Two more minutes until we get an hourly close. And this hourly bar looks absolutely dreadful. It looks dreadful. Ramus got 50 points on this drop. Nice. So you just took the edge of supply. Good work. It's possible they come for to clean up down here, but like we had a failed auction here yesterday, so I know there's trapped sellers under here, and like ES is rotating off PDC to V. It's just, mate, there's nothing here to do. Like there's really not. Midpoint of range. The only thing making me think 50 is the book. 70s, 60s, and 50s. It's nothing else. And if Nvidia comes back down to VWAP, that might help. This previous week high here, previous day point of control here. We know this is a big volume over, volume level under over. Absorbing on it at the moment. No acceptance under previous day point of control. No acceptance under previous week value area high. Technically high time frame is bullish. And we're in chop. And Nvidia's trying to make a flag. Whether it fails is another thing, but it's trying to make a flag on Nvidia. All this liquidity, 70, 65, 60, 50s right now on the book. Is there not anything below that? No. This is the only reason why I think we're going to come down into this level. It's just to try and clean some of these participants out. Clearly lots of buyers hanging out down here, so maybe we come for some of them. Here we go. So is there any follow through? Can they get down to the 50s? And then do we go heavy under that? I don't know, maybe. Very small chance we do. So from 520 opening range on R1 fib. Yeah, beautiful. It's where the liquidity was as well, right? If we go back on the book, look at this strong selling. 120 lot, and as soon as we hit 520, 405 lot just slammed it in. And look at these buyers trying to absorb it. 150, I don't know how big this is. I don't know how big this guy is. It's not showing me, which is a bit annoying. But 150, 3 lots here, so at least another 50 on each lot because I've got it set to 50. So 200, 250, 300, 450 tried to absorb between 510 and 500, and they just got wrecked. Yeah, so that was a good sell point. You're just playing the edge of the range there, which is exactly how to trade this. Ramus, well done. When we're in range, we play the edges. Well done, mate. Really nice. All right, so coming down to the rewards at 550, we just talked about. You can see it on the book here. This is why I'm looking at it. That is not VWAP. What are you talking about? Get out of there. Okay, coming back down towards previous week value area high here, right here. I will remind you that yesterday on that drive down to sweep previous day lows, there was 0 acceptance down there. Google now red, Amazon red, Microsoft red, Apple red, Nvidia trying to do a 5-minute bull flag to get up towards previous day highs. It's in supply at the moment though. And ES and SPY coming down for previous day close for the 3rd time today. VIX stuck between PDC and PDH right now. Yeah, no one's going to care about, honestly, now, Raf, no one's going to care about a thing until we get through the Fed and through the earnings. Powell will say, hey, we're going to, like, we're monitoring. 70% of the people said not to cut this time, but we're highly probable to cut in September. We're keeping a close eye on it. Obviously, tariffs are the variables. Then he's going to be asked, do you feel the pressure to leave, given the comments the president said about you? And he'll probably talk on that. And that will increase the volatility. And then I reckon when we start making cuts to the market is when we're going to start actually rolling over, which you might say is ridiculous. But because we price in the market early, I would say we're at the point by the time we get to September, October, where everything's priced in. It would not surprise me to see the market go into a spiral down unless something majorly changes. If you look at every other time we've been in QE following QT for years, the market's gone into recession on QE, not on QT. So we'll see. Time will tell. Very different market at the moment. Very different president. Lots of variables. Did we even make it to 50s? No, we didn't. They protected those 50s. And back up in a chop we go. So how many of you, if you weren't trading with me, would be getting chopped up back and forth right now? I literally have 0 interest in this market. So hopefully me being less interested is helping you to not get chopped up. I can show you my trades today. Zip, nothing, don't care. Here to speak to you lot, not here to execute this morning. Nvidia's trying for a new high day here. It's trying. the strong one in the market, 1.50% up. Google down, Amazon down, Microsoft pretty much flat, Apple down, the weak one. Tesla 1/3% up, Meta just about holding on. Nvidia starts to sell though and fails to do a breakout, then you might get rotation back down towards the current range low. Yeah, John. Yeah, good idea. Yeah, if you're going to trade, just be careful with the sizing. How I see days like this, always, I zoom out. Let's just go to like a 10-minute chart, make it really easy. All right, bulls have been in control. Little trap, and we go again. Little trap, and we go again. RBS, and we go again. New York Open yesterday, trapped the bulls, and now we're here. All right, so we know bulls from the open yesterday are trapped up high. We know higher time frame bulls are protecting this level. So we know between here and here is going to be sloppy action while it makes a decision. Now, if there is an argument that we have made the move for the year or the month or whatever it is, and that the market needs a higher time frame pullback, it will need to do this. It will need daily bulls to get out the way to allow rotation, and it will probably need weakness underneath previous weak value areas, right, to come for a deeper rotation. Until that happens, I'm going to assume that these higher time frame bulls, because they're much bigger than these participants in here, hold this level. All right, and at least retest this high. We talked about it pre-market, we have not retested the supply up there. It is a fresh level. So I would expect that to get tested unless they really hate all the news coming out and we do this. And at that point, I'll be interested. And if we reclaim that, I'll be very interested in this move here. But this really is a big trigger box down here. And this in here is where all the other traders are going to get stuck by being impatient. Because I understand I'm not big enough to compete with the traders down here. These are the whales in the market. They are going to dictate whether we do a trap or whether we puke. And maybe up here is key as well. And in here is people getting trapped. You can see it. Just like here, we trapped everyone and used it to go up. Here, we're trapping everyone. Either we're going to use it to go up or to go down. I'm not going to get trapped in there. And that's how I see this market. Why have I got a gap now, TradingView? Let me save this and reload it. Jeez, I feel like this latest update has been terrible. There you go, gap disappeared. But some weird VWAPs have turned up. Who's coded this? Still buys at those 50s we talked about. Mo, after watching you, I'm much more picky with my trades. That's great. Yeah, AI doing the coding. Now that explains a few things. All right, I'm going to give it until IB and maybe a little bit longer, and then I'm going to go, folks. I'm not going to sit and watch paint dry. Do we come for those 50s? Is the only thing I'm wondering, and do they bid off it? Here we go, coming for the 50s. 70s, let's see if they refresh this or not. Still on the takedown here, you can see 55 and 50s. It's where the liquidity is. So I'm just wondering if they come and test those participants right now. Nvidia pulling back a little bit off that high. Still holding 5-minute structure right now, though, just so that you know, on Nvidia, which is the strongest one in the market. Only reason I've got half an eye on it. Take care, John. Yeah, I'm going to do the same when I get off here. I'm going to eat some food and drag myself to the gym. Man, did not sleep well, clearly. Cannot stop yawning. Look at these 30-minute bars and hourly bars. Dreadful. Oh, yeah, I miss that, Bowden. I miss being able to get up and go for a coffee and hit the gym before doing anything else. It's 7:15 for me here at the moment. I've been up since 5:30. All right, yeah, still stuck at VWAP. Nvidia still holding on well. Apple down on the day, 0.39 down. Microsoft 0.10 down. Amazon 0.25% down. Google 0.25% down. Meta 0.25% up. Tesla 0.40% up. Nvidia 1.52% up. That thing's being strong. Actually. Where is it? Cannot get filled on my limit order for AMD. I just cancelled it. It's never coming back there, man. Just lots of slow walking, Miguel. Go calorie deficit just for your cardio. Just do like incline treadmill. Slow walking, or sort you out, or just trim it off quick. All right, you can see, what do we talk about every day when everything's tight like this? Low time frame view up, New York open, 24-hour view up, New York view up, low time frame algo, sorry, flow zones, deep pullback, previous day point of control, previous day high, higher time frame algo. Look how tight we are with everything. It's just a big no-no, folks. It's a big no-no. I know you probably feel like you got to trade every day. You don't. You really don't have to trade every day. Yeah, just get on that, Miguel. Get a TV in front of it. Just get a TV in front of it. Put your favorite film or sport on, and just walk. Doesn't need to be a fast walk. Just slowly increase the incline week after week after week. 30 to 40 minutes. Just do that, and it will fly off you. In our Discord, speak to David Kingsbury. I don't know if you've ever talked to him before, but he's one of the best trainers in the world. Speak to him; he'll tell you, or look him up on social media. But he's one of the traders in the room. He's in there. He just doesn't talk very much. Same thing for love handles, Bowden. Same thing, just low impact cardio. It's just where we, as men, as we get older, it's where you tend to hold the fat. Nvidia, new high of day, 5-minute trend, holding very, very strong on Nvidia. ES back to 5-day moving average, top of range. You had a 215 lot buyer could have come in here. It's the 500s. Initial balance coming in 10 minutes. Might have to go and get a stick of coffee on here, folks. I'm struggling to stay awake. I tell you what, I think my COVID cough's almost gone. God, it's taken a long time, isn't it? 5 or 6 weeks, maybe longer. I think it's almost gone. All right, liquidity here, 500 to 510 now. Nvidia still going, new high day. Yeah, and the other thing is obviously just watch your intake of calories. Make sure your calorie intake is, you know, even if you're not going to go into deficit, you've got to at least intake good calories. So lifestyle choices, swap out, you know, your Starbucks for a green tea, and just do the basics. Your processed meat for good meat. Swap out, you know, your nasty carbs for sweet potato, things like that. Make it easy on your body. Lemon and water in the morning. You know, if you're having a salad, think about the dressing on it. Lemon, balsamic, things like that. Things that make your body easy digest it. All right, back to the highs. Oh, choppity chop chop. How many people can we chop chop? That's the game right now. Nvidia, new highs. Let's go, baby. So strong. You so strong. Back into where we failed earlier now. So edge of range. So we didn't really explore the edge of this range down here. This was the failed auction yesterday. All right, and this is where previous week value area low was. This is where sellers are trapped in this market right now. For sure, today proved that. All right, yesterday we thought that. Today proved that. If we get through here, there's a trade. If we fail here, there's an edge trade back down. There's nothing else. Yeah, super strong. Oh, Nvidia is absolutely gunning right now, folks. Impressive. Impressive. They're trying to absorb the tape up here, the sellers again. So there's a 110 lot and a 29 lot just got marketed it in here. So some strong selling here again. Remember, we're nothing more than in a range. ES is actually breaking out of its range right now. Has it just taken that liquidity at 19s? No, it's a double top. I've got to put that in before I forget. There we go. 2.8 at 520, maybe on the other book, maybe on the liquidity. Yeah, I've got 513 up here at 530 on the liquidity providing tape. Otherwise, we're good. So rotating off the highs now. Do they hold this pivot back down into here, into the 500s, basically? Here's the question. And then do they have the strength, if they do hold 500s, to go and take out 520s, 525s? You'd want to see ES probably hold sort of 14s or 15s. Liquidity at 525s right now. These are much above it. It's not really. Just the edge of this supply. You would have to break out of this with conviction and retest it. Otherwise, there's no trade. Here's the retest of 500s that we just talked about. And if they don't find bid here, we can just go all the way back down because we've gone from one side to the other to the other. So you'd expect them to try and bid in front of this if they're going to show any strength. If they can't hold this pivot here, good chance we come back down for this. It's just the same thing over and over and over and over and over and over and over again until they've got one side completely offside. Nvidia's trying to get up to previous day high by the looks of it. I'd say that's what it's attempting to do. It's literally been straight up this morning. It's had a 5-minute pullback and then a 10-minute pullback and nothing else, just straight up. Go on then, market. Do it. Do it. You can do it. Go and rip some faces who got stuck and then just slam back down on them. There you go. 15s. It's trying to get to 25s that we just talked about. Wants to get to 25s. Yes. News 10:30. Let me have a look. What news you got? 10:30. I don't see anything. Mate, why do I keep getting added to these horrible Telegram groups? Amount of spam. Crazy. Feel like my US number has been leaked. I don't see anything. Crude inventories, that's it really. Trump signs congressional bill in a few hours. All right, they're still trying to get to those 25s. Did they just protect 500s like we talked about? Yes, they did. All right, there's your level. Wick to wick, basically. Initial balance now set on the day, folks. We are in an inside bar day. Just remember that, like, we are technically an inside bar day. This is a level of supply up here. If we bid over this and pull back in and hold it, you might get some more movement. If we bid over this and do a failed breakout, we can wash right back down. I've lost the stream again. Trying to absorb the tape again up here. 58 lot. Selling into the move. Market selling into the move. So we're trying. You can see it's trying to do this move. It's trying to break above and hold this for a move back up to previous day value area high. That's what it would like to do. There is selling here at 25 and 30s like we talked about. This is the edge of your initial balance, right? This is basically near the high of day. So, unless you bought those 500s, you're really waiting for a breakout retest or a failed breakout for a short back down. There's nothing else you can do here. You're either in this from 500s or you're not. That was the clear out of 500. Is there any more juice in it? So IB now be taken. The next target would be up here into 50, basically. Previous day value area high. Once we get through there, I would say genuine supply starts at around 23,573. So here. This is a fresh level. This is what we talked about. This supply up here has not been tested. These buyers up here from New York Open yesterday and overnight are still stuck. Right, so market might be trying to get back up there to test them. And if they're stuck, it can be a sell point. And if we trade through them, we'll do a giant cup and handle. Right, if we trade through them. Right, so the options for the market really is this and some form of rejection, lower time frame for this, or trade through, build out liquidity, and for a new move higher. That's if we get up there. So far, we're an inside bar, inside initial balance. Traded through the 25s, like we said, little peek through and then fail. So if there was a trade there, 500 to 25, I guess, if you want. If you 25 points is enough for you, there was a trade there for you. Oh! Video stuck at initial balance high right now. Does everyone understand why I'm like just not interested in this action today? Hopefully it makes sense to you. This is how I get picky with my trading. I can still tell you what the market's going to do, but it's just, is it worth trying to get 25 points in a range day? For me personally, I kind of don't do those. I'm looking for bigger moves, for pro trend moves where it's easy money, where we have low hanging fruit. I feel like this has been moved. Did a cool interview yesterday after stream. So I think it's coming first week of August with Austin Silver on ASFX. Looking forward to that. I think it was fun. I was a bit nervous, to be honest. It was weird. It's the first interview I've done as a trader. So it felt a bit weird. After so many years of doing that as a music artist for magazines and TV shows, I actually felt more nervous for this. But I think it was good. He said it went well. Thoughts for FOMC this afternoon? Thoughts on in what do you mean universal? As in what price action would do, or what will happen? What's going to be said? What the cut would be? I got no interest in being a host like that. There is a book and a show I want to do, but I don't feel the need to host them. Do you know what I mean? I'm not a host. Austin's a great host. I told him, like, I've watched him at events live, and it is a skill. To be an MC is a skill. I think we talk about it. I don't know if it's on the podcast because it might be after we finish filming. Meaning draw on liquidity, yes, and price action. Let's have a look. For me, everything's based off this. There's a few thoughts here. I don't know which way it's going to go. I'm fairly confident, 98% chances of pause. This is excess, so this is a true high. So we don't have to come back for it. If that's going to be a top in the market, as in a short-term top for days or weeks or whatever, we don't need to come back for it. So if we reject this range here, which is where those buyers are stuck, would mean probably a 61 or more pullback. Yeah, that's very nice zone. If we trade into here, you're going to have fib traders, supply traders, and buyers stuck, right, at this level. Now, I'd be waiting to see if there's a reaction there. If there is a reaction there, I would not be necessarily surprised to see a stronger sell. And nothing is confirmed for me until we get through this and this. And at this point here, you have some low-hanging fruit. However, because there is however, because we can trade both ways, if there's no reaction up here and we have exuberance continue in this market, we will trade higher. It would have to base out up here and let these participants out of the market. Now, your projections for that would simply be a fib extension. Of course, it's just going to do a yellow dot for me instead of the Fibonacci I just selected. We'd be looking at a fib extension. Remember, this would also be a weekly extension because I'm marking out your current weekly model. This would be possible. So 800s basically is possible if we're going to do a fib extension. So if there's no failure here, so that your options are this or a reclaim. Remember, lots of shorts will attack it here. If we build out cup handle, your fib extension will be up in towards 800. Those are the moves. It doesn't have to happen in one session. It doesn't have to happen in MOC. Both those moves I'm showing you can happen over the rest of the week and also next week. Because remember, maybe we close up here and then you have Microsoft and Meta, and maybe then we do this. All right. And then what is it tomorrow? What news event is it tomorrow? Something tomorrow morning. PPI? No, it can't be PPI. PPI and CPI come after. Anyway, something Thursday morning. Maybe then we drift lower. Then maybe Apple earnings are good, right? And then maybe we go into tariff or non-farm payrolls, or the opposite. You know, maybe we sell today off FOMC, and maybe we base between earnings, and then maybe we do something like, I don't know, this move here on tariff, and then this move here on non-farm payrolls. Like, it doesn't have to do it all at once because this is such a big weekly zone, right? If we think about this on a weekly chart, we can afford a pullback, right, to hold. If we think about it on a monthly chart, it's a big expansive candle, but the monthly is still technically bullish over 22,300. And actually technically bullish all the way down into this pivot low, right? This pivot low, but technically now we can afford a pullback to 22,400. What is it? 22,400, sorry. So technically on a monthly, if we were going to have this month be a typically bearish month into September, which is very common, this can still be a continuation higher, right? I'm just looking for a relief leg to then rally off. And at this point up here, once we finish this, I think this will get frothy up here later in the year next year, and then we get a bigger move and then base and go again. But those are all things we can look at later on in the year. You didn't ask for any of that. You just asked for what was going to happen this afternoon. You can see 30-minute chart. What are we doing? We're just stuck between these two levels. These have been hit all day. In fact, I put these in last night. I was in Discord. After the close yesterday, they went straight in, and I was like, these are the levels. I have no interest in trading. Here we go. Same levels, right? Same levels. Yeah, that's it. PCE Thursday and then non-farm Friday. So remember, if you trade with me, the way we like to trade is waiting for one side to be trapped. That's how the market works. So yesterday, okay, yes, I fluffed it, but the call was the same call, wasn't it? The call was shorts under here, leaving bulls trapped. That was the call. If we reclaimed this, we were going to get long with these shorts trapped, but we didn't. So we were looking for shorts yesterday, and we were then looking for a reshort here, 520s. I remember calling it out, 520s, and then a breakdown here to sweep the previous day low, which we had left, which it came back for. Now, if we had swept this down here, like I said yesterday, would have been more willing for a long. Once we did this, this is an excess low. Now I'm more willing for a long, which happens overnight, back to what? This same supply area. Okay, and now we're trapped between these two levels. So it's either breakout, retest, hold for a retest of this, or it's a straight pump, fail, fail, or straight pump, reclaim, go. It's level to level, or for me, flow zones, zone to zone. We trade market flow zone to zone. We don't dither and try and like grab trades in low probability areas. Even if that trade works out, you are just gonna make life hard for yourself. Don't make life hard for yourself. Trading is hard enough as it is. Just let someone get trapped. Let there be clear volume, momentum, liquidity, then trade. Because right now, this morning, we're through the initial balance. We are approaching 2 hours into the session, and you have a 75-point range to play with. I'm going to give this to the top of the hour, and then I'm getting out here, folks, because there's nothing to do here. And the temptation, the longer you sit here, for me, it's not so bad because I've done this for many years, but for some of you who are a bit newer, the longer you sit here is, the longer that you're going to convince yourself there's a trade to be taken. It's like a little devil on your shoulder saying, press that button, press the button, press it now, it's going to do it. I'm telling you, it's not going to do it. No bleeping way. It's not going to do it. It's going to really annoy you. It's like sitting in a casino for hours and hours and hours and convincing yourself your next roll of the dice is the one that's going to make you money. When it's like going to a machine where an old granny was there right in front of you and she just cashed out 50 grand. Well, you don't want to sit on that machine. That machine's not a lucky machine. It's just paid out. So you got to let everyone put their coins in again, which is what we're doing today, right? Everyone's putting their coins in, building the liquidity. And when there's enough coins in, then you play. That's probably a really good analogy. I just came up with that. I quite like that. I might use that again. Trade market, yeah. I'll do a video this weekend so no one can steal it. I actually really like that. I think that's a really good analogy. That might help people understand building liquidity or not. That's why after a big trend day, what do you have? Sideways day. It's the same thing, man. No one's trapped. After a big trend day, no one is trapped. Yeah. Vegas is weird for that stuff, isn't it? I find it's a weird place, man. I love Vegas, but that stuff's weird. The slot machine stuff. My wife loves the slot machines. But her the way she sees it is, can I play for 3 days and just leave break even? Can I just like occupy my mind, have some drinks, and leave break even? What's up, Professor Scott? Where are you? France? No. That's got to be a typo. That surely says friends or something from the road. Oh, you good, dude. I knew it. I knew it. I was like, there's no way he's in France. Driving around Paris. Oui, good to have some moule. A little bit of pain. En fromage. Voice the text. I got you. Yeah, exactly. Took a wrong turn. Yeah. Someone from California ended up in France the next day. Hey, I want that. I want that vehicle. All right, Nvidia trying to get above its initial balance high, still trying to get to previous day high here. Very, very, very strong. Dragging the market up with it. Just like yesterday. Oh, yeah. 10 more minutes, folks, and then I'm out of it. 10 more minutes, and then I'm out of it. No trades for me today. Not interested in this action. Zero interest in this action. Higher time frame dailies and weeklies are bullish. Participants from yesterday are stuck. Guys from yesterday morning are stuck. And there's a potential short setup if we fail that true supply up there. And there's also potential long if we reclaim it all. Okay. Was she all right? What time are you back? Roger that. Okay. Yeah. All right. Love you. Yeah. Main thing though, Miguel, you didn't lose money, right? I guarantee you, your favorite streamers today, I guarantee you, they were like, okay, I'm going to get short here for this. Ouch. Okay, I'm going to get long above here for a breakout. Ouch. Okay, let's try another short for down here. Ouch. All right, I'm going long again. Ouch. I absolutely guarantee you, if we go through your favorite streamers, that's what they did, because they just can't sit still. They have to. The difference is they make tens, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars out of people watching them buying eval accounts. And so they don't give two flying Fs whether they lose or not, and they definitely don't care whether you lose or not. In fact, it's better for them, like the prop firms, if you lose. Is not a high probability day. The only setup I said, if this holds 50, we probably take out 25s. There's 25 points there. That's it. If we come up here and blow out, we probably rotate back down towards the low of the range. That is it. Anything above that, you would have to be waiting now for really a breakout, pullback, and a hold. And really, it needs acceptance over previous day value area high. And the big problem for that is you've got a supply block here. I'm not interested. The RR is not in this market right now. Yeah, it's not even like the views. Like, it's insane. It's actually insane to me how much money these lot are making from commissions. Like, people think I make money from commissions. I can probably make enough to do a monthly shop of food. My money does not come from commissions. I wish it did. I'll be honest. I wish it did. I think it's a great business. Like, good for those lot. Like, no hate on them. But, you know, these guys spending $10 to $20 to $30,000 a month on evals, that should be a bit of a red flag for you. So I'm catching up here. I'm leaving Salt Lake City. Oh, nice. Ken saying, I remember driving through Salt Lake area, reading rocks along the highway forever. My favorite streamer is Break Even today with no trade. Hey, what's his name? Tyson, I'm from Salt Lake. I've been doing that my whole life. It's the best. Right, so there's still liquidity on the book higher. Nvidia is just trying to get up to previous day high, folks. Right, previous day high is 179.37. Right, if you look at the Mag 7 this morning, Nvidia is almost 2% up. Nothing else is anywhere close. This is just like yesterday. Chip names remain strong. Like AMD is 1.14% up. So Tesla basically flat on the day. Meta 0.5% earnings tonight. Google 0.31% up. Amazon 0.35% down. Microsoft 0.21% up. Apple 0.30% down. Nvidia is trying to drag this market up. It's trying to complete its cup right now to get back to high of days from yesterday, build out liquidity there, and if it can, it's looking for a 180 break, and then, you know, sky's the limit. You'd be looking at fib extensions again. Yeah, it's mad. And it's crazy. Like, some of them have earned it. Like, some of them have put in 7, 8, 9 years of work to build up their following, and I think they've earned it. But some of them have been around for a couple years, piggybacked some, careful what I say, some nonsense, and I'd love to see their actual win record on stream. Let's just put it that way. I bet it's not very good. They hide behind this mystery of the green and black candles and like, oh, I can predict the market. Well, your win rate, I reckon, is shite. And you make a lot of money from the 25,000 people watching you every morning. Absolute madness. Still absorbing over this level right now. We're going to come and try and test previous day value area high. 550s. So I guess if you bought the 500s, you might get a 50-point move on your runner if you're lucky. Relative weakness in ES and SPY. I would be having one eye on video. As soon as that Nvidia takes that previous day high, I would be locking some money in if any of you are actually in this long. Previous day value area high up here. So above this, all right, this is where we have had no acceptance. All right, definitely none above this, and this is where we broke down in New York. So this is the edge of your range in New York. Above this yesterday, this is where sellers took control. This is where buyers are stuck. Okay, video very close now. It's literally one stock dragging you up right now, 2.11% up on the day. It has almost hit previous day high, which is at 79.38. You just traded a high of 79.28. It's 10 cents away. It's possible it does a blowout move above that. It is absolutely possible on Nvidia if there's lots of shorts stuck up there, or with their stop there, I should say. I'm going to get a refill of coffee here. Has profit taken into PDH there on Nvidia? So it's just talked about. It hasn't taken it yet. It has not taken it yet. So the question is, do they firm up here now? It's not something I'm interested in, knowing that this is the edge of the range. But that's the question right now. Do they firm up, I guess? Think about how we built this liquidity. If it wants to run all the way down to here, maybe it can do that, especially if Nvidia take. I would have preferred to see Nvidia take the high and then roll over. Otherwise, I still think there's a clear target up there for them. And you see it on the book above me on bookmap. 550, 560 still on the book there. No chance, Foster Scott. There's 2% chance they're going to cut rates. That's it. If they cut rates, it is not priced in for today. It's priced in for September. If they cut rates, that will move the market. But I think it's very unlikely. Like if you look at all the stats, everyone's saying no rate cut till September. If Trump wanted a rate cut, he should have not kicked the can down the road on the tariffs, because that's what's stopping them cutting the rates right now. They just want to see the data. Big sales here, like we said, cleaning up all this liquidity we have just built out. Nvidia, major pullback. You saying Trump's talking? Someone just said that. Let's have a little look. See Bassett talking. I'm not expecting rate cut today. That's Bassett. Fed wrong in inflation. Bassett's talking right now. They're all upset. They're trying to pile the pressure on for a rate cut. It's not going to work. It is not going to work. They are so data driven. They do not care. Right, so back into Globex. If they hold this, they retest this high. Remember, up here is target. Same with Nvidia. Nvidia's holding its initial balance high right now, folks. We just swept a lot of liquidity there. I said I was going to get out of here at this point. Scott, have you bought any more XRP in the low threes? I know your average is so low, it makes no sense to do it. I'm just interested. You bought 100 at 3.1. No acceptance up here. But your POC's up here now for the session. Lots of volume built up here. So that's really your over-under. I would be looking, if you get over here, I'd be looking for failures. If you can get up into there, especially if it's an aggressive move, I'd be looking for this. That might be a trade, because you've got higher time frame buys stuck up here. So it's a good area. There's been no acceptance above here yesterday. If you do something like that, there might be a trade. ES back to VWAP here, folks. SPY back to VWAP and Globex. Sorry, in higher time frame algo. I'm like, what is that yellow line? Nvidia back to initial balance. Getting nasty. Failed auction above IB. I would have liked to see it get to previous day value area high. I didn't even have the strength to do it. And Nvidia didn't have the strength to take previous day high. It was very close. It was 10 cents away. Yeah, I don't think it's coming back to 60 cents ever at this point. Would be nice. If it does, I'll join you there. I'll join you there, my friend. Okay, holding this old pivot here now. Protecting this low volume into 500s. Yes, is melting here. Absolutely melting. But it's still trying to hold its IB if it can. It's what it's attempting to do. Yeah, a lot weaker. It's just because of Nvidia. Look at Nvidia, 1.78% up, was near previous day highs, trying to hold on to its initial balance. Very much like yesterday. Nvidia holding NQ up. Nvidia the leader, and then the other chips are following, like AMD's 1% up today as well. Holding NQ up. Nice, Willow. Just be careful, eh? Like we trade in high probability setups. We try and avoid low probability setups like this for this reason. Nvidia starting to fail now. If Nvidia wants to trade down to VWAP, you might get the Qs rotate with it, possibly. Again, failed auction above IB. I would have loved for it to come up here, but failed auction above IB. Failed to hold. Lower high, rotation to VWAP. This is where we found bids this morning. So you're just basically in a new range here, right? And if we fail here, we go back into this part of the range. But overall, what are you in? Same range, right? This is your range. And we talked about this morning about something like this happening. Because where do people get stuck? Above the edge of ranges. All right, team. I'm going to get out of here. I will remind you, the best deal in the market right now, by far, is at Tradeify, and it finishes today. All right, these are straight to funded accounts, one-time fees. 25K account straight to funded, $176. That is the same price pretty much as you're going to pay for Apex going through an eval. 50K, $250, 100K, $350. These are 50% off full price right now. And this ends today. This is a very quick sale. Or sorry, it ends tomorrow at midnight. My bad. Tomorrow at midnight. So you've got just over 24 hours. You can have up to 5 of these, I believe. All right, so it's the cheapest they've ever been. Brett's saying he won't do it again. So if you're interested in straight to funded, then now is the best time. Just use code FCT. And we'll go tomorrow. All right, tomorrow we should have a good day. All right, as long as we get out of this range or we expand this range somewhat, then tomorrow we're going to have, hopefully a better day where we can play some edges. Friday, we're going to be very, very cautious, but we should have a highly volatile day, but Friday should be good. So tomorrow we can play sort of the reaction to what happens today. Today's this afternoon session. If it's your first FOMC, just be careful. I'm not expecting a rate cut. I'm not expecting the huge moves that we used to get last year because we're not expecting a cut. But we are expecting volatility, all right? And mainly not once he makes the cut. I'm mainly talking about when he's on the stand being questioned, all right? So please be careful. Be careful with that stuff. And yeah, peace and love. Use hard stops. Thanks for showing up. Hopefully I've kept you out of anything dangerous today. And we go again tomorrow, all right? Take care.